Mhm. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Be the Media Huntington. Tonight is Wednesday, June 12th. My name is Jenny Lee, and Tina's back!
Hi guys, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone is well. I definitely miss everyone. Trying to get back into some normalcy in my life, so I will be back on the show. Hope everyone's enjoying the beginning of their summer.
And we have Lisa. Woohoo!
Hi.
And Lisa and I pulled off a tremendous feat last week. We covered a 5-hour and 47-minute town hall meeting in 55 minutes flat.
Wow. Go girls.
Yeah, woo, 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 woo. Lisa, you did great. They were some important topics that needed to be covered. But one of the things I have to do is, it's not necessarily retracting a statement that I was corrected on, because the format that we use, even though I have no problem retracting something if I totally got it wrong, but the format that we used is we kind of went through and took the notes of what was being said, or the highlights or the important things of the meeting as we saw it and viewed it at that time. And I had made a comment or repeated a statement that had happened by someone else, that there was a 4-bedroom, 4-bath yacht that was dumping raw sewage into the bay. And I've been told that that's not true, that person had observed something else that was something that wasn't that. But they wanted me to know that Maritime Services offers a service for them to get pumped out for free. Lisa, you were describing before a similar way, a similar scenario as to what we mean by that.
When you have a motorhome or a camper and you're camping, you have to empty the goods at a dump station. It's like hooking up a big hose, like a tractor trailer uses when they dump their fuel into a gas station. So you hook up the big hose to your camper, motorhome, and then you put this big hose into the ground and you empty your stuff.
That's nasty.
It's great. It's really great. Luckily,
Probably
when
stinks.
we used to camp, my dad used to always do it, and we just got to sit inside the camper and hold our noses. So, yeah.
I'll pass.
So if that's what happens on the water, that's a great service.
I forget the hours, but it's a service that's offered through Maritime Service. So, look into it. But apparently they have one. It's there. These are services. I'm not a boater. I don't proclaim to. In fact, I think I made that statement several times, because there were so many maritime issues. I had to keep saying, I don't know, because I'm not a boater. So I don't know the rules or the laws. I just happily get on anybody's boat who wants me to go. But I don't know the rules. So
I'd like to go on a big yacht like that and get a demonstration. That would be really cool.
That would be so.
I've never seen that done on a yacht.
Yeah, people are begging for more on the scene live stuff. So
and when I worked for Trump, I used to go on his yacht when I was working. But I never saw that.
That's so funny.
I didn't see that going on. I wasn't paying attention to that. So.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay. So there's so many different ways we can go from here, because there's a new New York sex bill that legalizes prostitution. There's paving improvements we need to talk about. There was a 74-year-old that was shot dead and found in Dix Hills. We've got Airbnb issues, which Lisa, we were like, what's that word? That rental word? Airbnb is back, and there's bigger issues that are happening. Susan Berland is trying to sell her sunscreen idea again. So there's just so many different ones. Quads.
The MS-13 who was sentenced to some heavy duty time.
Yeah, like 55 years. So there's so much going on. There's a lot to cover. We have a lot of topics for you. But let's start with the roads. So the town of Huntington announced that they are going to be, they're going to start repaving the roads. But it's an announcement really from the state of New York, because they're responsible for New York Avenue. Let me get this over here so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, can you see the map? Boom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so New York Avenue, 110, all the way down. It's a state road. So they've announced that they're going to start fixing all the potholes and all this stuff. New York State is going to do it.
Yay.
And it's going to start in the fall of 2019, continuing into 2020. And they're asking us to report town roads for repaving. So at least we're going to start to see some relief with our roads, which has been a big issue for a lot of people.
So
But
2019 and 2020. So you do a half-assed job in the snow and the ice cold. That's great.
Exactly.
That
So,
works well with asphalt.
why wouldn't you do it starting in the spring? At least all we have to do is worry about rain. But in the winter and snow and everything else, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, what happens after you do that? Then it's like I said, it's a half-assed job, and then it cracks, then it splits, then it breaks off. Yeah, it's good.
Now we got sinkholes. No thanks. Mm-mm. Do the job right or don't do it.
Oh, they don't do it. They don't do it.
I mean, I'd rather,
They don't do it. Here we are.
The roads here are disgusting.
At least no one's pooping on them yet. I mean, we're getting there.
What?
We're almost California.
What?
Oh yeah, they have maps in California. We're adopting all the same policies, so it's only a matter of time. We've adopted the housing policies. Yeah, absolutely. They want health care for all their illegals and all the same things we're doing. So it's not going to be long before people are just pooping on the streets because they've already got the areas where you can shoot up, right?
Do they offer toilet paper?
No.
Dispensary?
Dina, you really didn't know?
Well, I've been in like the woods.
I
Like I've
know.
really only been out. Literally, I've been out amongst people like the last maybe 3 or 4 days. We really kept it really close because we were prepared, but we weren't really prepared. So it was like
Right.
kind of a backfall. So I did not hear that. I'm glad I didn't hear that because
Yeah, they're giving out maps now to help guide people around the shittiest areas in town, literally.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world is going on?
This would be a great time to segue into other so-called, I guess, can we call it hygiene or maybe skin safety stations instead of toilet paper stations?
Oh,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let me grab that one, and then we'll go straight from sunscreen to sex because.
Well, can I be the first one to make a resolution, Mr. Lupinacci, for toilet paper dispensaries around town?
If somebody pooped on the street, I think that's not. Is that a real thing?
What? Yeah. No. Yeah. Listen, I'm going to show you lots of stuff later. Look, but first let's look at the sunscreen. So Susan Berlin passed the sunscreen law in the town of Huntington, and she put all those sunscreen stuff. So apparently now that Susan has been elected to Suffolk County legislator, she's taking all of her ideas that she used here and installing them on Suffolk County level because now we see her here with Balone. She's so happy. Look, she's so happy. And
What's
she's
the sunscreen for when you got a hat like that on?
doing the sunscreen, and he's so happy too. They're so happy to do this for us.
So sweet.
Yeah. So, but I think that they're just completely, Dina, you said it perfectly before. Do you remember what you said?
They're just out of touch with reality of what's really going on. I mean, for you to even put that up and to pose it as something that is valuable, to me, lets me know what you really think about what's going on. We have real crime going on here. We have real issues that needs to be resolved and things like that. And you're talking about sunscreen? And she's a legislator now. I saw legislator Kevin Abrams. He's in Nassau County. You know what he was doing? He was outside on a hot day, and he was talking about this filthy pool in Freeport. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Go around, help cleaning up. The people were rallying around because it was like, mosquitoes, things like that. That's what you are paid to do. You can go get sunscreen at Harmon's. So, you can get sunscreen at, wherever you need to go. If you have enough sense to go to the beach, you should have enough sense to get on sunscreen. But
and if you don't, you deserve to get burned, and you need to learn the consequences of your own actions.
But that should not be our legislators' concern. And I'm sorry, the county executive standing there smiling with her. I mean, come on. Like, this is crazy.
What are they doing to
Crazy.
What are they doing to clean up the water? What are they doing to clean up the most polluted water?
Right?
in my opinion, in
People
the
that are
world,
rubbing sunscreen all over them into the water and
in New York.
I was just
Yeah.
so upset to see that. And I'm like, we have real issues here. And you're in there smiling. And he's smiling with you about sunscreen. How far removed are you?
Let me see you drink a glass of tap water, and let me see you wipe that smile off your face when you get a nasty taste in your mouth after swallowing that tap water.
what are you doing about the water? What are you doing about the sewage issues? What are you doing about the opioid crisis? And what are you doing about getting more police, which you actually control that at the legislative level, to help combat the gang issue that it's still here. Let's not get ourselves high. It's still here.
And that's what I'm saying. You go to sunscreen, and I don't even go on a certain side of town after certain hours because I just don't want to interact with, certain people, and I don't want to have a gang issue because it's the summertime. You see the packs of kids. You don't know who is who. So you know what I do? I avoid it completely. And then to see my legislator that I have to pay taxes for, that somebody voted for, I didn't vote for her. And now you're gonna tell me about sunscreen, and then I have the county executive like, yes, good, yeah, no, it's not. It's foolish. It's foolish. Where were you at when they were gonna close the enrichment center? How about that? What about the people that really need all the help and all the funding and all the things that they get from there? Where were you then?
Yep.
Oh, where were you when the thing happened at Burger King? You released a statement with the supervisor 2 months later. Come on.
They want to pretend like that just never even happened. There are no issues. There's no issues because nobody's knifed anybody in a few months, which is good for them. This is good. But
it's the summertime. These kids don't have anything to do. And you're gonna see some increase in, some
Dana,
activities.
You missed the show last week. There was a very, very vicious rape of a young lady down in the village.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And
these
you're talking
are
about
things that
sunscreen?
don't really they're not hitting people's radar because we're really the only source of local media besides the Village Connection here in Huntington, and they cover more fluffy stuff.
I don't see how the rape of somebody in Huntington Village is not major news. I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to sell me that. I don't care who it is. And, these things we can only look forward to more things like that. It's the summertime. It's a known fact that crime increases in the summer.
Yep.
These children have nothing to do. Camps are overly expensive.
Yep.
Okay. The parents are barely making ends meet now, and you're still going up on taxes. Expect more trouble.
A lot of the kids that are in the areas where the trouble breeds the most, camp isn't even on the parents' mind.
Because they are barely making enough money to make ends meet.
Correct.
Keep the lights on, to put a little bit of food on the table.
Yep.
I can't afford camp. I could barely afford to feed you guys. How can I afford to send you to camp as well?
Mm-hmm.
But we talking about sunscreen though.
Yep.
Maybe they could eat sunscreen. I don't know. Or they could use the sunscreen to brighten up the lights. I don't know.
But they built so much affordable housing. I don't know how anybody is not thriving right now with all this affordable housing they built.
Right.
Well, where's the affordable housing at? Because I need to know. Where is it?
Oh, well, you know what? I have to tell you, it's interesting that you would say that, right? Because this does bring me into, we have an $89 million shortfall in the budget for New York. And the reason I bring this up is because Cuomo is actually trying to tell us that the reason we have this huge budget shortfall of almost $90 million, right, is because of Trump's tax plan.
That was the one vote that I really
Let me
I
see.
really wish I can get that vote back. I do.
It doesn't matter. The person that was running against him, you know how it goes. They fall on their sword. But here's the article. Potential shortfall between 80 million and 89.3 million heading into the budget deliberations for 2020. But they're saying it's that's not why.
Yep.
I just have to close my eyes sometimes and just be like, woosah, woosah. Don't get angry. Woosah. Because these people are crazy. Cuomo,
But they're also proposing giving away a lot of stuff now too.
we giving away everything.
Right.
We are
but
giving away everything.
Not to you. Not to me.
No. And how about I just heard the other day that they want to have undocumented individuals get licenses?
Oh yes, that was another one.
How is that going to work? I'm just curious. How is that going to work? Because when we as citizens go to get licenses, we almost have to get our blood type. So how is that going to work? What type? How are we going to know what your record was in the past? How are we going to know, if you, I mean, how does that work? And why are we considering that? That's the part I don't get. Why are we even considering it?
When's the last time you were up DMV?
I stay away from DMV.
It's a sight, let me tell you.
I stay away from DMV. I try to do everything as possible. Anything I can do online, I do.
Yeah.
Because I want my daughter to take her permit. And I thought I was somewhere else. I did not know I was in New York. I will be very honest with you. And I just was like, what is going on? What is going on?
You would be shocked if you saw it at DMV. That's all I got to say.
And I'm tired, and I don't care. People will say that, oh, it's racist. Oh, everybody deserves the same. No, you know what? When you start taking away from my children, which has happened, and you all know, and you start taking away from me, I have a problem with it. Because guess what? Uncle Sam makes me pay my taxes just like you pay your taxes.
But it's not what you're right. We had Spanish people before, and it wasn't a problem. But when you start flooding me with a group of people who are not here legally, which, by the way, border crossings come from like 68 different countries. So don't give me any shit about how somehow you're racist. Name the race, okay? We're talking about a system that is not equal. It's about equality.
No. And it's frustrating as someone for myself, my daughter could not get tapped. And now you want to tell me that you're going to give someone who's undocumented free education? What? On top of paying your crazy taxes to live here, I paid a double tax because I sent my older two to private school. So I paid that tuition plus this tax tuition. So if anybody should get something, it should be me. But you cut it and tell me, oh, we can't do it. And then I hear that you're going to pay for someone else.
No, only people paying into the kitty that are here as a nationalist of the United States of America. I'm not putting a color. If you are an American, you're an American. You're a nationalist, okay? You get those services before anybody else. You are not to be putting housing for anybody from any other country until every single one of our veterans has housing.
How about that? How about that? And listen, I'm glad you brought up veterans. My dad was a veteran, and I'm going to tell you, if he did not have the insurance that he had, and my mom had the insurance she had, I don't think he would have lasted the 10 years that he did. The way that we treat our veterans is absurd.
Yep.
Absurd. They get absolutely nothing. Once they come here, risk their life, and even in death. The only thing that they do give you that is respectable is that they open the ground for you and they give you a tombstone. You don't have to pay for that. Other than that, they are treated like, thank you for your services. I'm glad you didn't get killed. Have a nice day. There is nothing extra. I was so taken back because I always thought we took care of our veterans. No, we don't. So now we have another problem. I don't understand why we do the things that we do. I really don't. And we want to take care of things that are not here for us to take care of, like right in our face, but we want to go help everybody else. No. Why did it take so long for those? Are those veterans home near the first aid squad? Are they still veterans homes? Or have they changed?
I don't know. And I got to tell, I've just been
Already-
watching them been built, but I don't know that it was sold to the public as veteran housing to have more professional eyes and ears on the ground in that very sensitive area because it had such a high level of crime. Oh, we'll put veterans here. And so we'll see. What are we going to do? Go knock on the door and say, hi, what branch? what did you say?
And you notice how fast they went up after what, 10 years with all the hullabaloo about the election and all that pressure. And then all of a sudden they just like, boom, they went up or going
And
up.
now they put that stupid light right in front of the EMS. Did you see that double light? I was like, are you kidding? This is the stupidest place to put a light.
And how safe is it going to be? Because let me tell you something. You guys both know the kind of truck that I have.
Yeah.
It's huge. These boys, I was driving down there with my mom and my aunt because she was visiting and she wanted to see some of the area. So I was driving down Columbia, what is that, Terrace, whatever it's called.
Columbia
And these
Terrace.
boys were in the middle of the street and then they would not move. And then they started surrounding my car. So how safe do you think it's going to be? Because what are my options at that point? Your child is in front of my car, not child, I mean like maybe 18, 17, 18. There, and it's a group of them. I'm in the car with 3 other women, and it's a group of boys, and you're surrounding my car, not letting me move. If I hit one of them, now I'm going to jail. But if they kill me, then I have 5 kids that don't have a parent. So how safe is that really supposed to be?
Wow.
And you're going to put veterans over there? Some of them have PTSD, some of them that are already, disabled. You going to put them there? Good luck, Chuck. Good luck. I don't know what is going on in this town.
I didn't even think about that.
I mean, does that make sense? That's the first thing I'm thinking about because I
Wow.
my dad.
I didn't even think about that.
My dad had no problem with reaching for his gun first and asking questions later. I could have easily seen that being a messed up situation. So it's like, I don't know what this town is doing. I really don't. I don't know who's running for what. I don't see anybody doing anything productive on any platform. I have been checked out for a month or two, so I'll fall back. I'll, reserve judgment on that. But there's a lot of pitfalls everywhere. There is a lot of pitfalls and a lot of comments, and I don't see anything else changing though. So I don't know. I really, it's scary. But I always hear about LIPA.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's totally front and center right now.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I used their photo and we should have led with them. They had this rally.
Yes. In the rain. So it was
and a lot of people showed up.
With kids too.
Cool.
It was raining. Goodness. You know who I thought had the best, I forget where he put it though. The best video on it was Patrick. Because he showed it from the back and he showed all the rain and stuff. Hold on, I'll find that real quick. Oh, well, look, this kind of shows. I mean, it wasn't just raining, it was pouring. Look at
it was a nasty
here's Newsday.
And it poured for hours and hours. It didn't just rain. It downpoured for hours.
This kind of shows the level of rain that was there, but
yeah.
But Patrick Deegan had really great video. It's on the Concerned Taxpayers of LIPA. It kind of just really shows the level of dedication that these people had to get there and how big the crowd. Here we go. I found it. Yay. I'm nothing if not persistent when I want to find something.
You need that.
Yeah. When I get on a roll, I have to find it. So he did a really good one here.
That's a lot of dedication. That's really
a lot of
really great.
So just a little sampling. But yeah, the LIPA thing, they've got a large group going on here. They have, how many do they have in their group now? It just keeps growing and growing and growing.
It's about 10,000, isn't it?
No, that's the Eagles. This is 4,600, 4,590.
Oh, okay.
I know the Eagles of Centerport have like 10,000 people. They love the birds.
The baby eagles are about to leave the nest any day now, any second.
I know.
They're
They're
almost there. No, I don't want to interrupt about LIPA, but I do want to not forget when Dana brought up those young men doing stupid things. It brings me it brings me to
I know what you want me
the
to get.
video that you did share. I had shared it on a couple of town pages
Oh.
and our page, the Huntington View, with the kid on the ATV getting hit and his quad being thrown into the telephone pole. At one point, I thought that was his body, and I just cringed and
Oh, hold on. I found it, obviously.
you found it. Yeah, can you play that?
Yeah, I'll play this one real quick.
Because that just makes my stomach sick. Because
Okay, got it right here. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh. I just left it on video. Are you okay?
and he just gets up and leaves. I find that incredible. I mean, thank God that he was able to get up. I mean, I'm sure he's hurting today, but
Oh, wait, we couldn't hear you because the music.
No,
I was just saying, thank God he was able to get up and drive away. I'm sure he's hurting the next morning, but I mean, these kids. I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but they're a bunch of idiots. They
Why would
really
that
are.
offend
They're a
anyone?
danger.
I don't see how that could be offensive, because here first of all,
Well, not to us. You know, I got to cover my bases. But these kids are really idiots. They're a danger to themselves. They're a danger to us. The cops can't chase them, won't chase them, because they don't want to be liable for causing an accident or them hitting someone else. So, you know, they were just whizzing by the street here. They're on Beverly Road.
But here's my question: are the quads on the road illegal?
Yes.
You're not supposed to drive the quads on the road.
No.
Where do you drive the quads at?
Illegally
at
at the
many places left anymore, which is a really damn shame. And not everybody can put a bike on a trailer and go upstate, you know, into the woods and these, you know, professional trails. So, you know, hey, I used to ride. I used to love it, but that's when we used to ride years and years and years ago over at the Villadome, where the Villadome thing.
That's where everybody. Well, I'm not going to say that.
Right. Yes. Been a long time since I've done that, but
yeah, we don't do that at all.
You know, and then wasn't there another park several years ago out east that they filled in, that the town demolished?
Well, this is how messed up New York is.
We're having too much fun.
You can't shoot a BB gun. Okay.
Right.
You can only shoot it at a range, and you have to be a certain age. If you're not, okay, this is how strict the gun laws are in New York. BB guns, you're not allowed to shoot them outside. That's illegal. You can only shoot them at an approved range, but there's no approved ranges. There's no BB gun ranges.
Right. Not even the one all the way in Ridge.
No, that's for regular firearms.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I don't really. I've seen those quads, and I've seen them in traffic. I didn't know that they were illegal to ride. So I mean, I don't know why people do that. I really don't, and I don't think calling those people or whomever was on there is calling them an idiot is offensive, because now you're endangering so many lives because of your reckless choices.
Yes. And he did damage to that man's car. And that man, the reason, you know, for sharing it, that man wants any information that, you know, can lead to finding these kids, because they're liable for what he did to the guy's car.
Yes. And you caused a lot of damage. And I don't understand why that is so fun.
Yeah, and most of these times, Dana, I don't know if you remember from, you know, several years past, but most of them that these kids were riding were stolen. in the first place.
Yes,
We had that
I
whole
remember.
big quad
Yes.
theft epidemic.
Yes.
Until one of the masterminds was caught. One of them went to jail and one of them was deported. I think he's been deported so far. After he did his jail stint, he was supposed to be deported.
Wow.
So,
Well,
but yeah, these kids are just, you know,
But they're
It's
doing
big.
it on
the
the
bike
regular
lovers want to
bicycles
say, well,
too.
where else are they going to ride?
But they're doing
Not
it
in the
on regular bicycles too. They're calling them ride outs or something like that, where a group of kids are riding their bicycles into oncoming traffic. And I saw this myself. I was shopping at Fox's on New York Avenue. I was looking at the stuff that was out there on the rack outside, because they put it on the outside rack. And a group of kids, just there must have been 15, 20 of them, riding wheelies up into oncoming traffic on the sidewalks all over the place. They call them hideouts or something like that.
And here is the problem with that. God forbid us as a motorist hits one of those kids. We're in the wrong.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
But why is your child going onto oncoming traffic? I have no idea. Because if you're riding alone, I'm going to assume that you are old enough to be by yourself and you should be able to make decent decisions. Not to mention, I rarely, if ever, see any of these kids with helmets on their head. So now you talk about serious injuries.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a free for all. It really is a free for all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you have to protect yourself as a motorist, and you also have to think about your kids. If you have kids, when they're just, you know, maybe walking with one or two friends by themselves, if they don't, you know, you see 15 bikes coming, what are you going to do? You don't know. You don't have a car to get into. You have to run away.
Exactly. And that poor guy, he was just trying to make a left-hand turn. I'm sure he didn't think that he was going to pretty much run this kid over, or he thought he ran this kid over.
Yeah, the kid came around like,
and he's got to live with that. I mean, it's just
it's not fair. It's not right. And I think with the amount of taxes that we pay and the things that we have to endure, we should have a little piece of sanity, just a little piece.
Yeah.
Because if LIPA goes the way that they're saying and they're going to increase taxes, this is going to be a ghost town. Because you won't be able to afford to live here.
Yeah.
And then we won't have to worry about quads because it'll only be dirt here. Because nobody else will be here. You know, it's like, I feel like we live in a lawless county right now, or town.
I felt like that for a while. It just seems like there's a lot more enforcement on legal citizens where you can, it's about really just dragging every dollar out of anybody who they legally can, because they know they can't enforce it against people who aren't here legally because they're like ghosts.
Well, we're the money right there.
Right.
Yeah, that's that. You said that.
You get a ticket. We're the money train right there. We're easy money, easy pickings.
Because we know we are here. We're rooted here. For those of us who've been here for years, Lisa, you're a lifelong resident. John was a lifelong resident. Jenny and I have been here for years. You think we're going to skip town, or we're going to do what we have to do? We're going to do what we have to do.
And they got the leverage to use against you when they start to, you know, weaponize what they do. And we all know what it is they do. I mean, it's just common knowledge. They
do what they want.
They do whatever they want. Nobody is ever held accountable on their end, ever.
I think it's sad. I think that, you know, this election, when these politicians start, campaigning, I really hope people don't forget what we've gone through. And I hope people are keeping a mental note of what has been going on. And we vote for people not based off of who we like or what party they belong to or how much popularity they have, but based off of what we think they can do.
I lost your volume. Oh, you're back. Nope, we lost your volume.
Hello?
Wow, that was weird. That was so deep. Your voice changed. Yeah, you got to log out and get back in.
Unless you're identifying as a man tonight.
Right, that was like really,
really deep.
That was
even
weird. What was that?
Hello? Hello?
Dina.
Are you there?
She's frozen.
Uh-oh. And her voice was skipping too, like
It
was like,
started skipping and then it got really, really deep.
like one of those foreign movies where the lips aren't matching the voice.
Yeah, it's got to catch up with the other.
Yes.
My Bluetooth kicks on. I'm sorry. My Bluetooth kicks on, and if I'm not, like, let's say somebody's driving. Well, obviously, I'm not driving the car, but it just picks up. Like, if it's in a certain area, and then I'll be talking and I can't hear anything, and then somebody will be talking, and then they'll be talking in the car, and sometimes people answer back. So I'm sorry if you heard anything. You were told.
No, your voice all of a
What
sudden
was in
turned
my-
into a masculine voice. You'll go back and review it. It's really funny. Oh, so
I'm a real woman.
last week we also covered some Airbnb issues that people were having. And I wanted to highlight tonight one of the consequences from this that showed up on the blogs. Here's the police, a car. This was just posted 2 days ago. Dear fellow neighbors, I am writing on behalf of many members of our community. Let me tell you about an incident that occurred last week at my home. My husband came back home from work late after a meeting past midnight. He got out of the car and walked into the driveway and was nervous because there was a car parked in our driveway, obviously not ours. I have 3 children, the oldest who is 12. After waiting with me and checking the house, he realized something was not right, so he called the police. We discovered that the car belonged to my neighbor, somebody who was staying at their Airbnb. Sadly, this is not the first incident that has concerned us. People knock on our door at all hours of the night and park all over the street. I'm afraid to let my children play on the front lawn when strangers keep coming and going each day, as well as all hours of the night. They try to talk to my children, and this makes our family feel very unsafe. This is our home and in a quiet residential neighborhood less than 2 blocks from a primary school. I have repeatedly called town officials who are aware of the situation. Currently, the town code allows for 120 days of room rentals. It is legal for them to rent their home for that period of time. Guests pay under $49 a night and could rent up to 2 rooms per night to different people. They're supposed to maintain logs, ones that can easily be falsified since there's no way to prove who was there on a particular date. The town of Huntington has neither the manpower nor the funds to regulate and enforce the 300 plus rentals. Many towns have banned them except for vacation towns, which now have much stricter regulations to discourage neighborhoods from becoming motels. Please call and write our town officials, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm not blah, 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 but I just wanted to, the Airbnb is becoming a really big deal. But guess where that person, a lot of the people that spoke on town board, where they're from in our town?
Where?
Northport. Northport.
Oh,
So you're starting to see like neighborhoods you wouldn't expect it at all. Like you would think Huntington Station would be overwhelmed first, but Northport.
well, I'm
No,
not
I really
defending
would
this.
not
I
think
don't
that
agree with it.
Huntington-
But these people are trying to make a buck to pay their freaking bills. Working 3 jobs isn't cutting it.
Well, Huntington.
Where'd you say?
I mean, I was very surprised about that. I really was. A place like Northport or a place like Long Beach, where you're along the water, maybe. But when I saw where that was at, that's scary. $49 a night?
Right.
What kind of Airbnb is that?
Right.
Cheap.
What are you getting?
So what type
That's
of
affordable housing right now. That's your affordable housing. That's not good.
That's crazy.
Not
That's
good.
crazy. That's scary. Walking up to the car was parked in their driveway.
knocking on their door at all hours of their night? People, strangers, non-vetted, you don't know who they are. You don't know if you have a pedophile now, you don't know. They're a registered sex offender. You don't know.
You don't know what you have. A serial killer, pedophile, just loosey-goosey. I don't know.
It's really
That's scary. When I read that, I was like, I didn't know we even had that out here. So I'm trying to figure out. Well, I try to Google like Airbnbs. I wouldn't stay at something that's $49. What am I getting? A side of bed bugs? No, thanks. No. I'm okay.
Ew.
No. And
Ew, and what about
I
these
feel like-
freaks
think
taping
about-
you? Maybe there's a camera over your bed and these freaks are taping you and
yeah.
ugh.
You taking off your, your lady parts, your bra, and your boobs, drop on it like, oh, show. No, you little freak. It's not a show. You're nasty. I'm trying to go to bed. I can't. I don't know why we would even. But moreover, why would you want to stay here at an Airbnb? Why? What is there so alluring that you have to be here? I don't know. Especially in that area. I thought that was really odd. And I know I would not expect for us to have it because I'm thinking that most people own their home until I got a letter that somebody on one of my streets wants to have an accessory apartment. Now the house is like this big. Where are you going to put the apartment?
It doesn't matter because that new accessory apartment law, if it gets passed.
So we're all looking like time to move. And then on the block over, on the opposite side of me, it was a grandmother died, left it to the niece. The niece refused to sell it. She rents it out. And about 5 or 6 different people live there. They have barbecues on the front lawn. The front lawn. Who does that? So I don't know where we're going with all those things. I don't know.
Do we know where Joan Sergel stands with these Airbnbs? Is she a fan of it? I know she's a fan of the accessory apartments.
Well, that's her legislation.
Any accessory apartments where she lives?
Yeah.
I wonder. Are there any accessory apartments over there? I really.
Does she have any Airbnbs next door, knocking on her door all of the night?
Is anybody parking in her yard? I don't know.
And I wonder where Susie Q in Dix Hills. I wonder if she was close to that man who was shot in the head in his home in Dix Hills.
And he was like 74, right? He was
74 years old.
He was. I was going to segue somewhere else.
Sorry.
I had something else up there, but that's okay. That's okay.
Speaking of these politicians, in their little pristine neighborhoods, and it just made me think of her.
And there really wasn't a lot.
All jokes, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, seriously. Like, do you have this in your neighborhood? Do you live in your neighborhood?
Yep.
Well, sorry. So yeah, that was the police. 74-year-old man found fatally shot inside Dix Hill's home. That came out this morning. They say he was just found. He was found. Yeah, they just found 6:15 on Tuesday on the floor in his house with a gunshot wound to the head. He was discovered by his son, a friend, and a neighbor who were out looking for him. And there's pretty much like you could see right here, they don't really know much at all. They don't. He's a retired contractor who lived in the neighborhood for 30 years.
Oh my God, makes no sense.
They're saying it was just random. I don't know.
That's a little odd.
I don't even know what to say about that. It's just really sad.
Yeah.
Oh, before we get too far gone, I want to make sure that we highlight this because this boy is still missing.
Oh yes.
Let me get his picture first. He's been missing for 4 days now. He started going up on the internet today. Here, let me get over here.
Oh,
I didn't read that. I just saw it.
Yeah, it's here.
I saw him briefly. I thought it was a graduation picture though.
Missing teen male, 15-year-old white male, 5 feet 10, thin, light brown, dark blonde hair, brown eyes, cleft chin, wearing beat up white high top Nike sneakers, last seen in Huntington, Larkfield Road, East Northport on Saturday, June 8th. Might be camped in Veterans Park or East Northport Library. Wendy's, please contact his mother by text 516-712-5873 or the police. Missing person. This is night 4. I cannot believe he's still missing. So this is his picture again. I can't. It's a poor mom. Like,
oh my God, that's horrible.
So I just want to make sure that we got that on here.
That mom, I would be beside
myself completely.
Uh,
In other news, Fort Salonga, we have covered Fort Salonga, and we had a little bit of movement there at the planning board meeting on June 6th, I think it was. But they rejected the environmental impact study. So they have to go back to the drawing board. So it's a little bit more delaying. So I guess that's a good thing. Christian Kuhn's been doing a really good job, speaking on town board every month about it. She's doing a really good job getting the word out there. So keep up the good work, girl. You're making a difference. What else do we have? Oh, the sex bill.
oh my Lord. What is this?
New York wants
America
to.
is overly sex.
Yeah, everything's about sex. I don't understand what. I'm exhausted that they're having this much sex, everybody, and they need all this sex. I'm exhausted. They're wearing me out. But New York would become the first state to fully decriminalize sex work under a new bill. This came out on Monday.
Sex work, like,
Yes,
is there application for it? And what do they ask you on the application? Like, how many people can you have sex with in one? What do you mean sex work? What does that mean?
I don't know.
I mean,
I
prostitutes?
don't know.
um,
Politicians don't want
What
to
is the
get caught,
qualification?
so I guess they got to legalize this so they can get caught with their pants down and not get in trouble.
yeah, it's legal.
You're still cheating.
Like over at the Chalet
You still
Motel,
cheat?
that's why they don't want you to go see the Eagles.
You can't go
So sleazy.
because I have to decriminalize sex because you guys saw me over here having sex with. It's just a job.
Exactly.
A job.
I ain't never seen
Just a
no
little
job
gas money on the
application
side,
like that.
you know. Guys got to eat.
Oh God, there's so many ways you could roll with this now. This is awful.
Somebody said to work. I'm like, what does the application say?
I don't know. I'm waiting for the ark to be built because I swear we're going to be flooded with the amount of stuff that I know that's going on between all the disgusting evil. It's like good versus evil. I'm waiting for Noah.
Well, let me know if you find them because I'm coming too. I just, it's just too much going on.
Do you remember Elliot
Too much.
Spitzer? I think I'm never going to forget when Elliot Spitzer stepped down out of office because the headlines on the New York Post was Spitzer swallows. We're so awful here in New York. So it was he stepped down over a sex scandal.
How
Do
many
you-
were there? There was like a lot of them, right? That were.
Oh yeah, but I think it has to relate to something that's going on in trial, and I hope you guys get a chance to watch the NXIVM series that I'm shamelessly self-promoting, even though we make no money off of the stuff we do. But catch the NXIVM trial that I've been covering, but you'll understand that. But that's not why I brought it up. During research, though, for the NXIVM trial, do you want to know what I found out about Elliot Spitzer?
Tell us.
You know how the Democrats have like 35 to 80 people running for office and they start their primary soon? Elliot Spitzer is now consulting for the campaign for Mayor Pete. Pete, but
who?
Pee-pee.
the gay mayor, the gay guy. I know everybody knows him because he's gay. That's pretty sad. They should know him because of his accomplishments, not because of his sexualization. But Mayor
His name is Pee-Pee. That's I don't think I'll ever forget that. I don't care if you go straight to be Pee-Pee. I'm like, Pee-Pee? Pee-Pee's your name?
Aww.
Oh, mama name? Oh, okay. Seriously.
So no, I just thought it was just amazing that out of all places, Elliot Spitzer's going to show up. It's going to be on Gay Mayor Pete, who's fighting with Mike Pence over religion versus sexuality and all this stuff. And that's the campaign you're consulting on and helping run.
Well, he's going to lose. He's going to lose messing with Mike Pence because Mike Pence is an old school white male in every aspect, and homosexuality is something that he vehemently he denounces it. So I don't know why he chose him of all people, but Good
Well,
luck with
that's
these.
why he chose him of all people, because for some reason in this country, you're not allowed to be opposed to anything, otherwise you're a bigot. You're not allowed to have your own set of values that lead your life, even if you don't impose those beliefs on other people. You're not allowed to think differently than the group think.
I think that's so sad, but it is very true. And as we're watching new laws and new things trying to be passed, we are seeing a lot of interesting things. Like everyone's praising that girl, Alexandra, whatever her name is. She
Alexandria
is
Ocasio-Cortez, who is rumored to be running against Senator Schumer. Dana froze. Was that a reaction? Yeah, Dana's back. I love it. She wants to be a senator now.
what? She is so out to lunch. She is out to lunch. Like she's never coming back. And even if she did have any decent ideas, the way she presents herself is just so not what we want in government. I just can't with her. I'm sorry. I'm all for you, being different, but
Different. She's different.
running against good old Chuck. I don't know about that one, but hey, stranger things have happened.
This is such a, I can't wait. The Democrat primaries start, I think it's June 26th and the 27th. It's going to be moderated by some of the local favorites like Rachel Maddow from MSNBC. They've got a great lineup of people that are going to, and it's really funny because you have people like Eric Swalwell and our own Kristen Gillibrand, who are still there to say, just send me $1. We have to show that we have 65,000 individual donors just to get on the debate stage. So if we don't have 60, just send me $1. I just need the numbers to make it on the debate stage. It's very telling that they don't even have 65,000 individual donors.
And what about Blowhard Billy? You think he's going to make it up there?
Bill de Blasio?
Yeah.
All I know.
Girl bar. That's another Looney Tooney. He's out to lunch. I mean, he is out. Him and Alexandria are best friends. No.
Well, all I know is I've never registered with a political party ever in my life, but it would bring me great joy to register as a Democrat, and I will vote for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez just to get rid of Schumer because I feel she's easy pickings next time around.
Oh my God.
I'd rather deal with Chuck than her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would someone else than Chuck if they run against Chuck and they, but her, I would never ever cast a vote for her.
But that's okay because you like John McCain, so I don't trust your judgment on that anymore. Creepy Joe, Uncle Joe. He touches all those children.
And I like Biden too.
I meant Biden. I'm sorry. You know what? I meant Biden. I don't know why I said McCain.
I like McCain too.
Yeah, a lot goes on in my brain. So sometimes the wrong words came out, but I meant Biden. Creepy Joe.
I love McCain actually, and I do love Biden. So you were right with both of them. I do. I really enjoy both of them. Biden, he's just a free spirit. Leave him alone. He just likes to touch people. Back in his day, that was no.
Oh my. Stop. Okay. So, it's okay. We're going to just unpeel this little by little with you. You'll get it. We're going to bring everybody back into reality soon. They're going to see what's really going on. And I'm really hoping that there's like an actual noose that comes out to prevent it from ever happening in the future. It's fine.
About Biden, I mean, just an honest question. The more I hear about him and the more I read about him, and, he was vice president for 8 years, and then he was, politician before that for almost 40 years. Other than touching little girls and nibbling on their ears, what has he done? Other than his free spirit, what has he done?
Leave my Biden. Leave him alone.
She said they didn't even know I like it.
Nibble,
That's what they
nibble, 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 nibble. What has he done?
Biden stood by the first black president. You leave him alone. Leave him alone.
He is great for internet memes, though. I mean, he's been creeping up everywhere. They've been
Oh
using
my
that creepy
God.
Joe one behind everybody they can.
Oh my God, it's hilarious though. It's really, really hilarious. When he was creeping up behind the Queen of England.
Yeah, that was the best one. The Queen of England, and there, here comes Creepy Joe showing up at the Queen now.
Oh my God, it cracked me up.
Oh,
My poor
human beings are just so great. They're hours of entertainment sometimes.
The poor guy. He's a good guy. I love him.
Oh, goodness. You know what? I think when it comes around, even though we kind of know that we like to take some time off for the summer, I think we should cover some of that. The debates, if you guys want to. I know it's mostly Democrats, but we will have so much fun laughing at it.
I think we should. I mean, I think it's important. Like, even though we'll make jokes, I think we'll pull out things that most people either won't get, they may not have the time to get, or some people don't know because we tend to ask questions that people want to ask, but they don't know how to pose it. So I think we should. I think this is going to be, if nothing else, it will be a comedy show. I mean, we don't want politics to be funny, but hey, I mean, I think we should cover some of them.
Elizabeth Warren.
It's important.
Pocahontas. I just want to see her and Biden go up against each other. It's going to be so great.
I'm just going to be like, I
Oh.
can't support you. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. This is why we belong. Listen, I love having people in my life that don't think exactly the way I do. It would be very boring if everybody in my life all agreed and we all got along. And no, this is so much more. This is why I'm so full of life, because I'm able to say, hey, oh, let's talk about that. That's awesome. And I still love you at the end of the day. And that's what's
I like that too. I enjoy that part of it, believe it or not, even when it's not, because it's always respectable. And, you know, I'll be the first to admit it. When you hear the opposite side, sometimes you hear things that you never even thought of, and then you think a little bit differently. Not saying that it necessarily changed your thought process.
Well, I always say that I couldn't align with the Republicans or the conservatives because I was always so pro-choice. And as things have come up now, especially with the new abortion laws that are passing with no limitations, my stance on that has really changed. That's been an evolution for me. So I think it's an unfair thing to say that, you know, when you're offered new information and you're able to review it, that you are able to change your stance on where you stand on certain issues, and you should. That's personal growth. There's nothing wrong with admitting that, yeah, you know, I was presented new information and I came upon a different conclusion based upon new evidence. I think that that's a good way to be.
Yeah, you can, like I said, you know, you may not necessarily change my thought on this situation, especially with something I'm really rooted in, but there are other topics that I may sway back and forth. And that opinion or those facts that I didn't know will make me sway one way. You know what I mean? I think that's, we miss a lot. People are so busy attacking and being politically correct and so overly sensitive. We don't get to talk the way we used to talk, you know, and have open
dialogue,
heartfelt discussion. Yeah. I mean, if we could do that, we would eliminate some of the problems faced now. You know, but everybody's afraid to be called this or that, and you don't want to be labeled. So it's sad, but I do enjoy the way we discuss politics because all three of us have a very different view.
You know, you're having a lot of technical issues. I don't know why, but you are tonight.
I don't, you know why? It's because I haven't been on. That's why.
Oh.
So I don't have everything that.
You're not warmed up.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I love you. I tried.
No, we appreciate you being able to get back to us so quickly. We want to help bring you back into normalization. And believe it or not, this is our normal. This crazy is our normal.
I'll be better this week.
No worries. But guess what time it is, ladies?
That time already?
What
It
time?
is.
Wow. What a guest.
It's the fastest hour in local, non-monetized programming with no advertisers you'll ever see here. So we do hope everyone enjoyed this evening's Huntington View, and we'll see you all next week. Have a good evening, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.